Okay, so I'm a huge fan of the Mesa Boogie Mark amps. I've got a Mark III, I've got a Mark 525, I've got a Mark 1. I've never played a Mark 4, but I imagine it's awesome too. Now, I just wanted to show you how it is you could come across this tone fairly easily. I can't take any credit for this really. Check out the Bishop game on YouTube. Igor works for Line 6. And does more interesting stuff than probably most of us with his extracurricular time. I guess he might say that his specialty is metal type stuff, maybe, I don't know, that might be pigeonholing him a little bit. Anyway, so these settings are directly ripped from something Igor did. Anyway, we're using the Cali 4 lead. In front we got a Stupor OD. I've got a dual cab block here using the extra large V30 on one side with the 57 mic, reflections up at 30%, and then on the other side I'm using the same cab but with the 121 ribbon and the reflections at 30%. Then, right, let's just jump into the actual Cali 4 block. Lead gain at 8.3, lead drive at 9. We've got two gain controls essentially. It's a cascading gain design, but yeah, that's the way that Mesa Boogie Marks work. You kind of cascade one channel into the other and you get a lead gain, lead drive, so 8.3, 9. And then the bass super low here. You probably wouldn't necessarily expect to be getting much bass response unless you know that the Mark design amps have inherently quite a lot of bass in them anyway and a lot of mids. So down at 0.9, the mids at 5.4, treble at 7. Treble is one of the key controls on a Mark which actually can give you even more gain if you want it. Channel volume at 9.3. The presence way low at 1.4. Now if you stray from here, you know, you've still got perfectly usable stuff. I think that's one of the nice things about this particular amp, but I think these are the best starting points that I could advise based on my experience. The master at 5, sag and all of that left untouched. Now here's the really important bit. The defaults will be slightly different to this, but you need to jump into this 5-way graphic EQ slider that you have on the Mesa Boogie Marks since the two, I think, the Mark 2s, 3s, 4s and 5s all have this kind of famous 5 slider graphic EQ. Now the 80 Hz at plus 0.4 dB, the 240 Hz at minus 2.1, 750 Hz at minus 4.1, and the 2200 at minus 2.8, 6600 at minus 2.8 as well. So that's basically the key settings that are important there. And that's kind of shaping things out a little bit, giving you a bit of kick in the low end, but kind of scooping out a little bit of the mids, and taming some of the highs as well. So yeah, I would jump in there and change all of the settings to that and see if you can start from that point. I think that's a better starting point than the actual defaults of the amp, which would be more like this. A bit tighter, it's a bit bigger. This is with the ADT. Okay, and then we could add in the Stupor OD. So here, this is a Boss SD1, kind of like a Tube Screamer-ish. 1.9 drive, tone at 4, level at 7.5, very easy. And then I've got this automatic double tracker at the end. And that, I think you'll agree, makes things sound pretty huge, especially if you've got headphones. On a phone, that might sound a bit weird, so be careful with this. It's probably not best used to compensate for a lack of double tracking. So if you were actually recording, maybe you would not use this, but for practicing and playing, this is huge. And the settings: delay 1 at 0, delay 2 at 19 milliseconds, the wire flutter on 1 down at 0, wire flutter on 2 at 2.8, saturation on both at 0. The volumes I balanced off to be 0 each, and then no modulation. Tape speed I've taken down to 7.5, everything else is as standard, and I've turned off the high cut. Here's an important part: pan D1 fully left, D2 fully right, and then you get that kind of big double tracking effect. But yeah, I think that's a really big sounding Mesa Boogie Mark kind of tone. I think that's a way better starting point than any of the other defaults, and I think I was really enjoying it and found it super inspiring to play through, so maybe you will too. I might do a bit more of this, maybe create a lead tone out of it as well, but let me know in the comments if you want me to drop this Mark IV preset into the folder, and I will do so. Thank you to Igor for those settings. I'll catch you in another video soon. Please feel free to like and subscribe if this was at all useful. I guess that's a way of letting me know. Cheers.